Okay, number 21, 3m squared minus 9mn minus 30n squared. Factor the 3 out. So we have m squared minus 3mn minus 10n squared. Okay, can we factor that farther? Possibly. Okay, 10 could be 1 times 10 or 2 times 5. Do either one of those factors subtract to give us a 3? 5 and 2, right? Okay, so we'll have the m here, the 2 and 5 subtract to give us 3, 5 and 2, 2 and 5, either order. Okay, we need a negative 3. Negative 5, positive 2. Does either one of those factor anymore? No. Okay, 22. X squared minus x minus 20 equals 0. It says to solve. We still have to factor. Okay, so we're going to first factor it. 20 could be 1 times 20, 2 times 10, or 4 times 5. Subtracting to get a 1 or negative 1. 4 times 5, right? We have our x's and we have 4 and 5. We need a negative 1. The 5 will be negative, right? And set each one of these equal to 0. X plus 4 equals 0 gives us an answer of negative 4, right? X minus 5 equals 0 gives us an answer of 5. So our answers are negative 4 and positive 5. It won't let me put a comma, that's why I'm putting that slash. Let me write it over here, because it shouldn't really have a slash between it. Our answers are negative 4 and 5 with no parentheses around them. Just negative 4 and 5. Okay, another page. Number 23. 2x squared plus 7x equals 15. What do we do first? We want it to be equal to 0, right? So we need to subtract 15, right? Okay, so we'll have 2x squared plus 7x minus 15 equals 0. We need to factor this. We could put the 2 and 1 here. The 2x and the 1x. Okay, the 2 and 1. To get 15, we're going to do 1 times 15 or 3 times 5. Looks like we might have to do a little playing here. 1 times 15 or 3 times 5. We're going to either do 1 times 2 or 2 times 1. 1 times 2, 2 times 1. Let's start at the bottom. 3 times 2 is 6. And 5. What do we want? We're wanting it to subtract to give us 7. So, let's go back down. That does not subtract to give us 7. 3 and 10. That does. Okay, so we have the 3 times 5 and the 1 times 2, because that gives us 3 and 10. Now I'll get rid of this stuff. Okay. Now we have the 2 needs to be multiplied by the 5. And the 3 times the 1. We need it to be positive 7, so the 10 needs to be positive, right? the 3 negative. So negative 3 and positive 5. Okay. Now that we have it factored, we need to set each one of these factors equal to 0. Let me get rid of that. Okay. Now we'll set each one 2x minus 3 equals 0 and our x plus 5 equals 0. This one's the quickest one. Just subtract 5. So x could be 5, or 2x minus 3, what do we do first? Plus 3. Add 3 to both sides. So you have 2x equals 3. Now, divide by 2. 3 halves. So we have a 5 and we have a 3 halves.
Isn't that a negative 5?
Yep, it's a negative 5. Thank you. Okay, this isn't a fraction, so it's going to be okay to use either answer. If this was a fraction or something, we would have needed to plug it in to make sure it didn't make a denominator 0, but we can use both answers, so that's the 2 answers. Okay, number 24. We have x parenthesis x minus 3 equals 28. So multiply it out. We have x squared minus 3x. And then we want it equal to 0, so we're going to subtract 28 from both sides. So we're going to just put minus 28 equals 0. Is that too fast? Okay. Now we need to factor this side. 28 could be 1 times 28, 2 times 14, 4 times 7. We need one that will subtract to give us 3. 4 and 7. We need a negative 3. So we need negative 7, positive 4, right? So we have our x's here, and a positive 4 and a negative 7. That's equal to 0, so x plus 4 equals 0. Comes out to what answer? Negative 4. X minus 7 equals 0. So it's a positive 7. So that's our 2 answers. You don't need it. You don't have to write the positive side. Okay. And number 25. The length of a rectangle is 2 meters more. Here's our length. It says it's 2 meters more than the width. Here's our width. The length will be 2 more than the width. The area of the rectangle is 48 square meters. Find the length and the width. How do you find the area of a rectangle?
48 times 2. L times W.
Length times width. Right. The area is 48, right? Instead of A, we're going to write 48 square meters. The length, we're going to write W plus 2. The width, we'll just put W. So now we have this to solve. Okay, so we have 48 equals W squared plus 2W. We need it equal to 0, so we need to subtract 48 from both sides. So 0 equals W squared plus 2W minus 48. And we'll be factoring that.